It's different. You see, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want a flaming that shit, burn this bitch down, raise it, even to the ground, nigga. Fuck that shit, just burn this bitch down, raise it, even to the nigga. Fuck that shit, better burn this bitch down, raise it, even to the ground, nigga. Fuck that shit, they better burn this bitch down, raise it, even to the ground. This for Breonna Taylor. System failure. I mean the system failed us. They treat our lives careless. They made us careless. They think our youth stupid, but they really fail us. How you gon' police us when you really fast? I'm at the edge, my friends are dead, I'm feeling careless. Feeling for our lives, and they be acting illest. Man, this fucking city got burned, but you don't wanna hear us. When a nigga say that he can't breathe, hands up, don't shoot, no please. They ain't give a fuck. They just got back and they squeezed. They took their foot off of our necks, now they applying their knees. Man, fuck the NFL, niggas need their own leagues. And if you don't know what I mean, then catch up to my speed. Shouldn't have crack up, make $1 while our people gon' bleed. Shouldn't have crack up, make $1 while our people gon' bleed. So I said, fuck that shit. Burn this bitch down, raise it, even to the ground. Nigga, fuck that shit. Better burn this bitch down, raise it, even to the nigga. Fuck that shit. Better burn this bitch down, raise it, even to the ground. Nigga, fuck that shit. Better burn this bitch down, raise it, even to the ground.
All right, clap it up. Hey, Shalom Israel. We the Isupk started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And I'm Precinct Officer 500 Lakum Yala. Joined with me is Precinct Officer Karakar. You understand? We holding down the Hebrew, not the Hebrew class, but the law class today. Not the law class, but the history class today for Officer Mayad. You understand? If we could, let's get John chapter 8, verse 32. This is a perfect time in the season that's coming up with our nation, a perfect time to understand that you cannot be a coward and serve the Lord. We are in perilous times. Right now we got the Passover coming up. You get a Lord a hand for that. And you have a lot of demons that's out trying to sift our people like wheat. You understand? Satan is trying to do his duty to make sure that you do not get the kingdom of heaven, to make sure that you do not get your crown. You understand? But it is your obligation to make sure that you fight whatever demon comes your way and you earn your crown. You understand? And it starts. So like if you haven't been to a Passover, it starts by getting to the Lord's 53rd annual Passover. You understand? It's going to be held in Cocoa Beach, Florida. You understand? The Isupk is the only Passover that's sanctioned by the Lord. You understand? If I could, let's get John chapter 8, verse 32.
Khan. This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
Go ahead.
And ye shall know the truth.
And ye shall what?
Ye shall know the truth.
The truth is that the Isupk under Commanding General Yohanan is the only ones that is authorized to teach the Bible. You understand? The truth is that if you are not in the Isupk, you are not in the truth. You understand? The truth is that if you do not celebrate the Lord's Passover, you understand, then Salakia, Lord be with you. You understand? It is not going to be a good look for you in the eyes of the Most High. You understand? That is the truth. Go ahead and read.
And the truth shall make you free.
Once you understand your nationality, you understand who you are, you understand your identity, You understand? Once you understand what the Lord has done for you in the past, you understand what he's going to do for you in the future, then that will make you free. Once you understand how to love your brothers the way you're supposed to love your brothers, you understand how to love your sisters the way you're supposed to love your sisters, then that would cause you to be free. And that is the truth that Christ gave his disciples. That is the sole commandments Christ reiterated to his disciples. He said, love the Most High with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Meaning you got to love your brother. And if you love your brother, you're not going to suffer sin upon him. You're not going to allow him to do wickedly, and you're not going to cause him to do evil. You understand? If I could, let's get Zephaniah 2:1. If anybody have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and type them in the chat. I get that a quick moment. Anybody have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and type it in the chat. When you got that, go ahead and read. This is a very important time for our people. You understand? Understand this with this monster that rule over us. It is wise for you to gather yourselves with your people. It would be very wise for you in this time if you have friends with other nations. It would be wise for you to let them go. You understand, and cling on to your people, because what's coming around the corner is not going to be pretty. The scriptures say in Matthew chapter 24 that there's going to be race wars. Kingdom shall rise against kingdom and nation against nation. You understand? You don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the lines whenever that time comes. So what would be wise for you to do is to get with your people. You understand? And of course, you know that's right there in the Bible. If you could, go ahead and read.
Khan. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Gather yourselves together.
Do what?
Gather yourselves together.
So the Lord said, gather yourselves together. That is a command. That is an order. You understand? Every year, Commanding General Yohana, every time Passover come, he always say it is in order for all Israelite camps to come home. You understand? Get off your high horse. Put your pride aside, and gather yourselves together with your brothers. Gather yourselves together with your sisters. You don't believe how we believe, so what? Come to the Lord's Passover. I mean, it's right there in the scriptures. The Lord told us to celebrate the Passover from generation to generation. You understand? So if we have doctrinal differences, one thing that we can agree on is that we are supposed to celebrate the Passover. And the scripture said, do what?
Gather yourselves together.
It didn't tell us to separate ourselves. The scripture said to gather yourselves together. Go ahead and read.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Scripture say, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Who is the nation that's not desired? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. You understand? The ones that built this stinking empire, and that's been oppressed for over 400 years now. You understand? The ones who's been made a mockery all over this nation and all over the world. The ones that's been made a proverb and a byword all over the world. The Lord said to gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. You understand? You are the ones who the Lord is talking to. If you could drop that, let's get Mark chapter 13, and let's get verse 13. You understand that tonight we're gonna go into the history of Daniel. We also gonna touch on the history of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You understand? But first you gotta understand that you cannot be a coward and serve the Lord. You understand? If you refuse to gather yourself together, you are a coward. If you refuse to come be with your brothers, You refuse to come and have a drink with your brothers. You refuse to come and serve the Lord the proper way. You are a coward. The Christians say it all the time. They'll be a martyr for Christ. I've heard them say it since I was a child growing up. You understand? But if you are not willing to come and put your differences aside and have a drink with your brothers and serve the Lord in spirit and in truth the proper way, you are a coward. How can you expect to love the Lord? And how can you say you would die for the Most High if you won't even do what Christ told you to do?
Right.
You understand? Christ said that they will know you are my disciples by your love one to another. You understand? These brothers had love. That Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they had love one to another. You understand? They knew who their power was. They loved the Most High with everything they had. And they loved each other so much that they was not going to even let each other sin.
Right.
You understand? Like, and this is how we're supposed to be. If you wherever you are, if you are Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, Native American Indian, or indigenous people of this land, it is in order for you to come to the Lord's Passover. You understand? The Lord, all the rape, robbery, and murder we've been through. You understand? The Lord done heard our cry, and He's going to hear our cry again at the Passover. You understand? This is a time for you to renew your vow to the Lord, to tell the Lord that you are really going to serve Him and put your brick in for Him. You understand? If you could, Baba Kushab.
Khan. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 13.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
The scriptures say you're going to be hated of everybody, of all men, for His name's sake. You understand? You can't be joining hand in hand with your oppressor, because the scriptures say, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. But if you really love the Lord, you're going to be hated by everybody. You're not going to be loved by everybody. And that goes against the whole notion of, everybody can be saved.
That's right.
Because if everybody can be saved, that means you love everybody, everybody love you. It's a utopia. You understand? The scriptures say you're going to be hated for His name's sake, meaning you're going to stand for something that everybody's going to hate. You understand? Go ahead and read.
But he shall endure until the end.
But he that what?
Shall endure until the end.
Go ahead.
The same shall be saved.
Listen, if you go through what you have to go through, if you do what you have to do and you serve the Lord the proper way, you understand, then salvation will come to you. You understand? This is what we're fighting for. We're fighting for our crown. You understand? When Christ comes back, He's going to hand out crowns. And this is what we're fighting for. You understand? And you won't get a crown if you're being a separatist from the nation of Israel. If you're being a separatist from your people and you out there on the corner with fringes on and a t-shirt, telling people to gather yourself together, but yet and still you want to be separate from us, you're not going to get your crown, right? Because you're still breaking this commandment. And at the end of the day, you are a coward. You understand? Let's matter of fact, let's jump right into it. Let's read to some people that's not. Let's get Daniel chapter 3, if we could, Baba Kushab.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna take a look at some brothers that really loved each other and really loved the Lord. You understand? And they endured. Like hardship came. You understand? Like offenses came to these brothers, and they endured until the end. You understand? To the point where, well, matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. You can start at if you could, verse 3.
Khan. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 3.
Go ahead.
Then the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
So the backdrop of this is King Nebuchadnezzar. What he did is he erected a statue. You understand? A whole image, a huge image. And he had musicians all around it. And when the musicians was to play, everybody was supposed to stop what they're doing and was supposed to bow down to this statue. You understand? Go ahead and read.
And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. Then a herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages. Verse 5. That at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up.
Meaning this, and when the musicians would start to play, at that immediate time, you stop whatever you're doing, and you fall on your face and you start bowing down and you worship the image that King Nebuchadnezzar set up. You understand? And when it's talking about the people, it's talking about Israelites. It's talking about it's talking about the Jews. It's talking about other nations also that's there that are not Jews. You understand? This decree went out to everybody, but it's specifically meant for the Jews, because Nebuchadnezzar and all his people understood that it was forbidden and it was against the law of the Jews to bow themselves down to any graven image or worship them or serve them.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead and read.
Verse 6. And whoso falleth not down and worship shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Listen, whoever chose to disobey the orders of the king, they was going to be tossed into the fiery furnace. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Verse 7. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshiped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
Listen, when all the music started playing, everybody obeyed the king. But there was a group of people that didn't. There was a group of people that understood that to serve the Lord was better than death. You understand? But everybody else, when they heard that music, they fell down and worshiped that graven image that Nebuchadnezzar set up in fear of the king, in fear of his judgment, in fear of what he would do to them. They was afraid of going into a fiery furnace. You understand? Most people today, and that's what baffles me. You see a lot of people today, they'll say, well, I'll be a martyr for Christ. I'm sold out for Jesus. I die for him. Listen, when push come to shove, and they tell you, they put a gun point blank range to your head, and they say either you renounce Christ or you're going to die. A lot of people is going to renounce them because they would rather live.
Right.
But we're about to read three brothers that preferred death over the obedience of King Nebuchadnezzar, because they chose to serve the Lord. They understood that serving the Lord they understood Nebuchadnezzar could do harm to their body. You understand? The scriptures say, fear not him that can harm the body, but rather fear him that can kill both soul and body in hell. You understand? They understood that there was a power that was greater than King Nebuchadnezzar that could kill both their soul and their body if they was to obey the king. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Verse 8. Wherefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews.
They did what?
Accused the Jews.
Listen, they already knew that the Jews was not going to obey the king. So this is what they did. They came and accused the Jews. Go ahead and read.
They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever.
O king what?
Live forever.
Listen, now they buttering up to the king. This is what lawyers do. When they go to the judge, you understand, they gotta, in order to be effective in court, you gotta sound good not only to the judge but also to the jury. You understand? And they knew exactly what to do. They knew what to say to the king. They knew how to move the king to their wishes. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and the dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image.
Meaning this, you understand? They went up and buttered up the king, and they said, after they buttered him up, they listen, king. You know, you done made you gave a order that everybody that heard the music was supposed to bow down and worship. Now these Jews are not bowing down. You said that everybody that hears this music, whatever they doing, they supposed to stop it, and they supposed to immediately bow down and worship the king, the graven image. You understand? Go ahead and read.
And whoso falleth not down and worship, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
That he should be what?
Cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Listen, these people had it out for the Jews. And this is how you know that all these other nations to this day have it out for all the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. You understand? Because the first thing they'll do is they'll find a way to have you either destroy you mentally, physically, and then they'll find a way to where you can't get a slavery. You understand? You can't get a job, you can't make money, because now you got a record on your hands. You understand? You got a felony. So now the only jobs you can get makes a piece of change. You're scraping to live. You understand? And they're pleading their case to get you off house arrest, to get you thrown back in jail. You understand? This is what the same thing that's going on. These people hate the Jews with a passion. Understand this. These other nations don't love you. You understand? They may act like they do, but in reality, they do not. They hate all 12 tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, with a passion. You understand? Go ahead.
Salaki, so if I could, what you bringing out is so heavy because, like you said, they hate all the 12 tribes with a passion. And right now, with this thing going on with Russia and Ukraine, they sitting up here asking us on our radio stations that they know we listen to,
right,
to donate money to Ukraine, to humanity this, and they have no homes, and the Ukrainians then came,
right,
and took over the space, and at the Mexican border where they got our children, women in cages.
That's right.
Why they just to let them come over there and they pray for Ukraine, this, that, and the other. So what you bringing out is extra heavy with this scripture because that's exactly what we're looking at right now today.
That's right. And if I could, what you're saying is so on point, because while our people are being taught to love Ukraine, meanwhile in Ukraine you got them hating us still. There's been a video surfacing of one of our brothers getting beat to shreds. You understand? He's tossed on the ground, got kicked in the face. You understand? Face stomped on the curb. Then he get up and try to get away. They trip him up, start beating him some more. And then he finally escaped. But this goes to show that no matter what condition they are in, no matter what condition these other nations are in, they hate the 12 tribes of Israel with a passion.
Yes.
And don't let them be in rulership. You understand? Like, good night. Don't let them rule over you. You're going to see what we see here. You're going to be so destroyed that you don't even know who you are. You understand? And this is what's going on here. These people conspired against the Jews. You understand? They conspired against them to get them to do something to disobey their God so that they can continue to rule over them, so they can continue to be destroyed. You understand? The other nations know that if we disobey the Lord, they can rule over us. They know that. You understand? So they told the king, they buttered them up, and then they was like, listen, you made an order that if nobody worship the image whenever, you understand, when the music played, they supposed to be thrown in the furnace. What's going on? You understand? Right. These people supposed to be tossed in the fiery furnace. Go ahead and read.
Verse 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon.
There are certain Jews. Now they're getting down to the nitty gritty. You understand? They didn't say all the Jews. There were some Jews, of course, that bowed down to the graven image. But they said specifically there are certain Jews that refuse to obey the king. Go ahead and read.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Listen, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, whose name in the Hebrew is Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael. You understand? These brothers refuse to bow down to the king. You understand? To the king's graven image. They refuse to obey the orders that was given by the king. Go ahead and read.
These men, O king, have not regarded thee.
They have what?
They have not regarded thee.
Meaning they just blatantly disobeyed the king, because they understood that they served a power that was far greater than the king. They understood that, you know, what the Lord can do to him is greater than what Nebuchadnezzar can do to him. You understand? So they feared the Lord, and they chose not to bow down to the graven image. Go ahead and read.
They serve not thy God.
They serve what?
Not thy God.
Go ahead.
Nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Nor what?
Nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
And why is this so important? The scriptures say in Deuteronomy that where you shall be sold, you would serve other gods, even wood and stone. You understand? This is so important, because when we say you cannot be a coward and work and serve the Lord, meaning this, you can't. The Lord said, "Thou shalt not have no other gods before me." You can't serve two masters. You understand? Either you're gonna love the Lord and hate the other, or you're gonna hate the Lord and you're gonna love the other. But you're going to serve one master. You understand? And when it comes down to the nitty gritty, you understand, it all decides on who you will serve. It all decides on what side of that line you're gonna stand on. You understand? Are you gonna stand on the side of the Lord, or are you gonna stand on the side of the Christian church or the Muslim mosque? Are you gonna stand on the side of what the popular world tell you, and love everybody? You understand? Like this is why it's so important not to worship the image. This goes into the mark of the beast. You understand? These people worshiping the image of the beast. This is a literal image that was erected, and now today our people has had a image that's been erected, a literal image. You understand? And they don't even understand that image is none other than Caesar Borgia. You understand? This what is it? Second son of the sixth pope of Rome. You understand? And a man who had a fetish for another man and for his sister. You understand? But this is who the world calls Jesus Christ. You understand? This is the image that was raised up and is in 90% of the Christian church world today. You understand this? And then they raise up the cross as if it's something glorious to worship. You understand? This is an image that our oppressors has told us to worship. You understand? Go ahead and read.
13. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage,
And what?
In his rage
Go ahead.
and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king.
Listen, Nebuchadnezzar, being very mad because these people refused to obey him, he ordered the men to bring these men before him. You understand? Go ahead and read.
14. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true?
Is it what?
Is it true?
Listen, is this what they're telling me the truth? Did you really refuse to obey my order? Did you really not bow down to this graven image and worship it when you heard the music? Go ahead and read.
Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my God?
Do not you what?
Serve my God.
And this is what happens in the Christian world today. When they find out that a bunch of niggas, you understand, can come out of the Christian church and start hating the doctrine of Christianity and serve the Lord the proper way. You understand? Why do you hate so much? Why do the Lord ain't the author of this? We got two different gods. Why you won't just serve my God? You understand? Listen, go ahead and read.
Come. Nor worship the golden image.
Nor do what?
Nor worship the golden image
Go ahead.
which I have set up. 15. Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made.
And listen, Nebuchadnezzar told them, listen, I'm going to give you one more chance. I'm gonna give you one more shot. When you hear this music play, you bow down and you worship the image that I made. You worship this image. It took me a long time to make it. So the least you can do is honor me and bow down to this is the last chance Nebuchadnezzar is giving them. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Go ahead.
And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hand?
Listen, and this is how America is today. You understand? This is how they think about so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. Well, who is the God that can save you from out of my hands? The scriptures say the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? You understand? This is the pride of these monsters. You understand? They'll sit there and say, you understand, who is this God that you serve that is more powerful than what I'm doing, or more powerful than me? You understand? Go ahead and read.
Verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
Go ahead.
If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace.
Read that again.
If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace.
Go ahead.
And he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king.
Listen, these brothers, they had a love for each other and a love for the Lord that listen, we are, as a nation of people, we had better get this love for the Most High that these brothers had.
That's right.
You understand? Like this is so important for us to have. It is so important for us to find this love for the Lord that's, listen, even unto death. If you decide to kill me today, I believe I got all the confidence in the world that the Lord will save me out of your hands.
That's right.
You understand? What he did before, he can do it again.
Right.
What Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego understood is that they served a power that was far more supreme and far more powerful than anything on this planet. You understand? So this power that they understood, they was not limiting him to the confines of things of this world. You understand? Like most people would have been like, all right, no problem. I ain't trying to die. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bow down to your image. You know, I made my little stand. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bow down to the image because I really don't want to die.
Right.
But these brothers understood the God that created the universe, the same one that gave orders to the angels to create all things, is the same one that created fire.
That's right.
So if he created fire, of course he can deliver me from it. You understand? This is the mindset of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These brothers was no cowards. They was not afraid of nothing. You understand? And this is how we have to be in this truth. Like, you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation, and don't flee. You understand? Battle that until death.
That's right.
You understand? And watch the Lord save you out of it. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Verse 18. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy God.
That we will what?
We will not serve thy God.
Listen, we are not going in Christianity. We are not going into the Muslim mosque.
Right.
We are not going into Pan-Africanism. You understand? Like, listen, give it up for Captain Tazaria. You understand? Constantly crushing these people that's trying to get us to follow these other gods. You understand? Like he's destroyed these Pan-Africans so much they've dubbed him Kemet Killer. You understand? Like we have a power that's greater than Geb. We have a power that's greater than Anubis, greater than every god of the Africans. We got a power that destroyed Africans for us. We're about to celebrate them next week. You understand? We're about to celebrate what the Lord did for us, how the Lord killed Africans to get us out of the land of Egypt. And understand, listen, Moses wasn't no coward either. You understand? You cannot be a coward and serve the Lord. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
So we're not going to bow down to your gods, your false gods that you created. You understand? You took time out of your life to build up these images. Why the hell I'm going to worship these gods? I'm basically worshiping your artwork, meaning I'm worshiping you. You understand? Why would I do that? You understand? Go ahead and read.
God. Verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Listen, this king got very mad. He got even more mad than what he was. He gave him a second chance, bro. He was mad that he heard about it. And then he brought him before him, tried to give him a second chance, heard what the brothers had to say, then got 10 times more mad. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated.
They should do what?
Heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated.
Listen, Nebuchadnezzar said, listen, heat this furnace more than what I initially told you to do it. I want you to make it so hot that it is impossible. That they'll die walking into it. They'll die opening it up. You understand? Like, I want it to be so hot that my guard's going to die from trying to touch the knob. You understand? Like, heat up the furnace. And that's exactly what they did. Go ahead and read.
Come, verse 20. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the burning fiery furnace.
Listen, he commanded the strongest men he had, the most killingest niggas, you understand, that he had to grab Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and bind them up and throw them in the furnace. This was his command. Let me get that nigga right there. Yeah, he that's a killer right there. Let me get him too, and then y'all come grab these 3 niggas and throw it. This is what Nebuchadnezzar's doing, but he's angry while he's doing it. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Verse 21. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Listen, they were completely bound up, and these men tossed them into the furnace. Go ahead and read.
Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceeding hot.
And the what?
The furnace exceeding hot.
Because the king didn't think about what the hell he was doing, he made a decision out of emotion because they refused to bow down to something that he created. You understand? Go ahead and read.
The flame of the fire slew those men.
It did what?
Slew those men.
The flame of the fire killed the men that threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fire. Like, listen, that gotta be, you gotta serve a mighty power for the flames to kill the men that are throwing you in there, and you get thrown in there and the flames don't touch you. You understand? Like, this is why it's important to serve the Lord. This is why it's so important to not be afraid of what the world can throw at you.
That's right.
You understand? Romans chapter 12, verse 2 says, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's right. You understand? They was transformed by the renewing of their mind so much to the point where they feared nothing but the Most High himself. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Go ahead.
And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Listen, they fell down, bound into the midst of the furnace. The scripture don't say they died. You understand? Nowhere in this passage will you read the death of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You understand? They fell down. Go ahead and read.
Verse 24. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire?
Listen, Nebuchadnezzar, he's looking at what's going on, and he's surprised. Like, he's in awe of what's going on now. Because in his mind, he's like, listen, I threw three men in there. You understand? Why is there nothing happening to these men that I threw in the fire? But my men died. My strongest men died. But the men that I thought was weak, the men that I thought that I could kill, ain't nothing going on with them. They are perfectly okay. You understand? Go ahead and read.
They answered and said unto the king, true.
What?
True.
They said, listen, king, you are correct. You threw three niggas in that fire. Go ahead and read.
Verse 25. He answered and said, lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire.
I see what?
I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire.
Go ahead and read.
And they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of God.
Listen, he said, I see four men loose. They was original. Like, think about it. They was bound up. They couldn't move at all. You understand? He saw four men loose, meaning they ain't nothing on them. They ain't got no smoke on them. They ain't everything is completely okay. They not burning. And he saw them all loose, walking in the midst of the flaming hot fiery furnace that he commanded to be heated 1 and 7 times more. You understand? And then that fourth man, he said, the appearance was like unto our King Yahushua. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Verse 26. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God.
Ye what?
Ye servants of the Most High God.
Listen, now all of a sudden, King Nebuchadnezzar had a change of heart. You understand? Now all of a sudden, he see, okay, the Lord is with these men. These men, they disobeyed me. I tried to kill them, and now I can clearly see that the Lord is really with these men. You understand? This is why it's so important to stand for the Most High.
That's right.
And to not be a coward.
That's right.
So the Lord can be with you.
That's right.
You understand? There's been countless times where brothers and sisters should have died, but the Lord was with them. You understand? Countless times where brothers and sisters should have been sick unto death, or sick or nigh unto death, but the Lord was with them. You understand? Like this is why it's important to not be a coward. This is why it's important to stand in the midst of adversity, to stand in the midst of the demons that you battle. Right. This is why it's important to fight back against your demons, because when you're fighting back, then the Lord is with you. The Lord is not with somebody who buckles under pressure. If you are quick to fold under pressure, the Lord is not going to be with you. If Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego would have turned around and said, before they got tossed in the furnace, and was like, well, you're right, King, I'm a bow down and work, they probably would have died.
That's right.
The Lord would have probably killed them. You understand? But the fact that they didn't, the Lord spared these men. You understand? And not only did he spare these men, there was a change of heart in the king, to where the king recognized that the Most High power is supreme.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead and read.
Come forth and come hither.
Come what?
Come forth and come hither.
Listen, he told these men to come out of the furnace. I thought I threw 3 in there. Now it's 4. Listen, hey, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, come here. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire.
They did what?
Came forth of the midst of the fire.
Go ahead and read.
And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men.
Listen, these are the same men. These are the same men that conspired against the Jews. These are the same men that at the beginning of the chapter, they conspired to get Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego judged. The same men that pleaded their case before the king. Now they're witnessing the Lord being with these brothers. You understand? Go ahead and read.
Upon whose bodies the fire had no power.
The fire had what?
No power.
Go ahead.
Nor was an hair of their head singed.
Listen, not only did the fire do nothing to these brothers, but the fire didn't even burn a piece of hair on their head. You understand? Like we talking about the most high power. You understand? The power that we serve is far greater than anything that America got, anything that Russia can throw, anything that the Ukraine can do, you understand? Or anything anybody can do to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir. I just got to, but what you bringing out is so heavy because, you know, when I was in the world and I could remember being shot at in the car that we was in, when they came and inspected the car and looked at the bullet holes and stuff, a lot of bullets missed us, and there was 3 of us in the car. Not only that, they found bullets inches from the gas tank. You know, and testaments like that, even though I was still in the world and I hadn't came in the truth, when I think back, I'm like, the Lord must have really been with me.
God.
For me to even make it to the Isupk, I fight demons every day. Like, Lord, you really with me?
God.
Because that's just one instance of my life, but it's this scripture is so heavy. Just sins on their hair.
God.
Like it just bring me back to that. Salakia.
God, no, and you definitely right. The Lord was definitely with you, and that's the thing. Like, brothers don't, like, a lot of times we don't even know when the Lord is with us and when He's not with us.
That's right.
You understand? We know when He's not with us. We know that because we had a funeral crying.
That's right.
You understand? We know when the Lord's not with us because we locked in a jail cell.
That's right.
You understand? We strung out on drugs. We homeless. We in the street begging for change. You understand? You sleeping in your damn vehicle. You understand? Because of the choices that you made. You know the Lord ain't with you. But then there's times when you know the Lord is really with you.
That's right.
There's times when you know only the Lord could have did that.
That's right.
Only the Lord could have saved my life from this. You understand? And at those times, if you're not in the truth, those are the times where you better wake up and come into the truth.
That's right.
You understand? Those are the times where you better understand who saved your life, and you better dedicate your life to Him with everything you got. And you better become like these 3 brothers. You understand? And you fight for Him. You understand? And you serve Him.
That's
you
right.
Understand? Go ahead and read.
Neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
Nor what?
Nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
Listen, the Lord was so much with these brothers that the fire didn't touch their coats at all. And normally when you're around smoke, you smell smoke on your clothes.
That's right.
You understand? The Lord was so much with these brothers that nobody even smelled the stench of smoke on these brothers. They didn't, you couldn't tell that these brothers was tossed in the fire to begin with. You understand? This is how much the Lord was with these brothers because of they stand for the Most High. Because of how much they love the Lord turned around and loved them so much that He saved their very lives.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead and read.
Verse 28. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Blessed be the what?
Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Now King Nebuchadnezzar is turning around worshiping the Most High. Now he's worshiping our power. You understand? At first, he wanted us to serve his power. Now he's worshiping ours. Go ahead and read.
Who has sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him.
He did what?
Who has sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him.
Listen, he sent, the Most High sent his angel, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego sent his angel, you understand, and delivered his servants, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You understand? Go ahead and read.
And have changed the king's word.
Have done what?
Have changed the king's word.
How did he change the king's word?
By sending his servant.
By sending that angel.
Sending
You understand?
angel.
The king said, listen, they're going to die in that furnace. You make it 1 and 7 times more hot. They are surely going to die. You understand? And the Lord said, you will not die, but you will live.
That's right.
You understand? And now Nebuchadnezzar said, listen, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Damn
He
right.
changed my word. You understand? Like he must have, he thought he was it. You understand? He thought he was it. You understand? And as a king is supposed to think that he's the stuff.
That's right.
He's supposed to think that he has the final say so, because he does. You understand? But what Nebuchadnezzar did not know was there was another power that had a final say so over his, and he recognized it that day.
That's
You
right.
understand? Go ahead and read.
And yielded their bodies.
And did what?
And yielded their
Go
bodies,
ahead.
that they might not serve nor worship any God except their own.
Except what?
Except their own.
Listen, this is why it's important to obey the Lord. This is why the Passover is so important.
That's right.
You understand? You celebrate the Passover, the Lord is going to deliver you. You understand? And you dedicate your life to the Lord and you serve him with everything you got. He's going to deliver you out of this hell. You understand? That's a promise. Romans chapter 9 says that promises belong to Israel. That's a promise given by the Lord.
That's right.
You understand? Matter of fact, if you could, get me Exodus 23 and 22, Baba Shah.
Come. Come.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 22.
Go ahead.
But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice.
If thou shalt what?
Indeed obey his voice.
Listen, there's laws, statutes, and commandments that you have to keep. The Lord said if you obey his words, if you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 all the way to 14, it tells you all the glorious things that will happen to you if you obey the Lord. You understand? The Passover is part of obeying the Lord. It's a command.
That's right.
You understand? The Lord didn't say celebrate Easter. What you gonna celebrate a bunny that lay eggs for? What bunny ever laid eggs?
Good night.
You understand? I'd rather serve the Lord, a power that killed Africans so that I can be free.
Damn right.
You understand? I'd rather serve a power that parted the Red Sea multiple times. You understand? I'd rather serve him and save my life than to lose my own life in my own vain lust.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead and read.
And do all that I speak.
Go read it again.
And do all that I speak.
Listen, if you obey the Lord and do everything that he says, not some of it, you understand? Christ turned around in Matthew chapter 5 and said that if you teach men to do the least of the commandments and you do the least of them, you'll be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Then he said, if you teach men to break the least of the commandments and you break them, then you'll be called least in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? You have to do everything that the Lord said. You understand? It's not an option. Go ahead and read.
Then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies.
I will do what?
I will be an enemy unto thine enemies.
Listen, if you obey the Lord will be an enemy unto your enemies. And we have many enemies. You understand? We have enemies great, far, and wide. Even the goddamn air is our enemy now. You understand? You go to Flint, Michigan, you travel down south, the water is our enemy. You
Right.
understand? There's lead in the waters that's poisoning the mind of our people. You understand? The Lord said, if you obey him, he's going to be an enemy to your enemies. Go ahead and read.
And an adversary unto thine adversaries.
An adversary unto your adversaries. This is why it's so important to obey the Lord. This is why it's important to not be a goddamn filthy coward.
That's right.
You understand? Because if you're a coward and you're following after your own vain lust, you cannot obey the Lord because you don't love him. You love yourself.
That's right.
You understand? Stop loving yourself and obey the Lord so you can be free. Ain't that what our people have been marching for from the 60s?
Yeah.
Ain't that what we've been begging for since slavery? We've been singing about freedom since we got here. You understand? And all the Lord required of us to do was obey him. You understand? The whole time we serve our sentence and we obey him, and he will free us. That's the promise. You understand? If we could, let's go back to Daniel's the 3rd chapter. And this is why it's so important. You understand? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the Lord became an enemy to their enemies and an adversary to their adversaries, so much that King Nebuchadnezzar understood that he was not the greatest authority.
That's right.
You understand? There's going to come a day, mark my words, there's going to come a day when America is going to understand that they are not the greatest authority. You understand? Russia is going to understand they are not the greatest authority. You understand? But there is a power, the God of the niggas.
Damn
you understand?
right.
That
Damn
is
right.
the God that reigns supreme. You understand?
That's right.
And the Lord is going to send our King Yahushua, and he's going to reign forever and ever, and he's going to have many crowns, meaning he's going to put all these kingdoms under subjection to him.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead and read.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verse 29.
Go ahead.
Therefore, I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces.
Shall be what?
Shall be cut in pieces.
Listen, the Nebuchadnezzar, get a Lord a hand.
That's right.
Get a Lord a hand. Nebuchadnezzar said that he's making a decree from that day on that anybody that did not serve the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that didn't serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, will be cut off. You understand? They was going to be cut down to the ground. You understand? Go ahead and read.
And their houses shall be made a dung hill.
Their houses shall be what?
A dung hill.
Go ahead.
Because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort.
There is what?
No other God that can deliver after this sort.
Listen, this is why we celebrate the Passover.
That's right.
Because there is no other God that can deliver. You understand? This is why we decide to not be a coward.
That's
This is why we came out of our own filthy lusts and the wicked ways of our minds. Because we understood that there is no God like our God. You understand? If you could drop that, give me that in Jeremiah, if you could. 16, I believe, start at verse 14.
Come.
This is why it's so important to remember what the Lord did in the past. Nebuchadnezzar said it. There is no God like the God of Israel.
That's right.
You understand? And not just Nebuchadnezzar say it, but everybody else is going to say it. They're going to, the scriptures say every knee is going to bow. You understand? And every tongue is going to confess. That's every nation. That's everybody on the planet.
That's right.
You understand? They're going to serve our king. And they're going to serve the nation of Israel. You understand? Go ahead and read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14, sir. Verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord.
Listen, the scriptures say the days come, said the Lord, meaning it's not here yet, but it's soon around the corner. Go ahead and read.
That it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
That did what?
That brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
So we're not going to remember what the Lord did for us in Egypt no more. And then that was so far, that's the one of the greatest things that's known around the world.
That's right.
You understand? So if we're not going to remember Egypt no more, that means something greater has to happen for us to not even think about what the Lord did for us in Egypt.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead and read.
Verse 15. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
From where?
From the land of the north.
From Africa.
From the land of the north.
From Europe.
From the land of the north.
Listen, the scriptures say the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel, all 12 tribes.
Right.
You understand? Yeah, we scattered all over. We're scattered all over, but the bulk of us is where?
The land of the north.
That's where we at. And the scriptures say the Lord liveth. That we're going. It's going to be said, the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel out of the land of the north. Go ahead and read.
And from all the lands whither he had driven them.
Go ahead.
And I will bring them again into their land.
And I will do what?
I will bring them again into their land.
We're going back home. You understand? We're not going to have to worry about being second-class citizens in this stinking filthy empire no more.
Damn right.
We're not going to have to worry about getting a bachelor's or a master's degree to barely make ends meet anymore.
Damn right.
You understand? We're not going to have to worry about 90% of our men being thrown in cages and our children being hunted like dogs in the street.
That's right.
We're not going to have to worry about that no more. We're going to be back in our own land. Go ahead and read.
That I gave unto their fathers.
Listen, he gave this to our fathers. And our King Yahushua is going to rule in the kingdom of heaven, and we're going to be there with him.
That's
and
right.
Barakatah Yahushua, what a great day that's going to be. You understand? If I could, I'm Priest and Officer Lakam Yala. You understand? Join with me as Priest and Officer Karakah. That's my time, Israel. Shalom.